Hey, it's me. I'm you, but from the future. In letter form, because this is totally a clever performance device I'm using and not something I'm only doing because I didn't want to learn my lines. I'm writing this to 11-year-old me because 11-year-old me is about to enter an entire whirlwind of scary emotions and feelings that she did not want to deal with. But you're going to have to. So let's get this out of the way. Yes, Emma, you are gay. I'm sorry to have to break it to you, but it doesn't matter how many of those online quizzes you lie to, or how much time you spend staring at photos of Nick Jonas, or how much you think you fancy your boyfriend. You are never ever going to change this fundamental part of yourself. For you, right now, it's 2008. You've just started year 7 and your favourite subject is history, not drama, I know. And in a few short months, you're going to start figuring it all out. Her name is Keely. She's 16 when you meet her, a few inches taller than you, with the softest voice you will ever hear. She's an art student, and her hands are always covered in smudges of paint. And you know this because you spend every waking moment you are with her completely mesmerised by every inch of her. She walks in the room and you get nervous. Your heart will beat way too fast and you'll feel yourself blush whenever she's close to you. And when she looks at you, it genuinely feels like you're going to die. And no, it's not because you look up to her. You're just really, really gay. It won't be long, though, until your feelings start to worry you. You'll realise that this is way more than friendship. You'll know it's a crush. And then it stops being fun. You'll stop spending the whole day at school hoping you'll see her. You start avoiding her. You feel ashamed of that little jump your heart does whenever you see her. And you'll stop looking at her because you're scared that if you do, she'll somehow know, or that the other people around you will guess. Your crush becomes your biggest secret that you protect at all costs. Because in your mind, you think that if she found out, she'd find you disgusting. And if the other people found out, they'd hate you. You'll be so repulsed by yourself that you'll stop wanting to go to school. But then you somehow manage to convince yourself that it's just a phase because some stupid book in the school library told you it was, and then things will start to feel a bit calmer. You'll convince yourself that she's the only girl who is ever going to make you feel this way. And pretty soon, you're going to start feeling these feelings towards boys. You think that you'll be fine, and all the scariness is just going to go away. It doesn't. And I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but the next one's not going to get any easier. Keely finishes sixth form as you finish year 8. And when you see her for the last time on the last day of term, you're going to feel a weird mix of emotions. You'll be heartbroken because you know that now you're not going to see her as much. But you're also going to feel massively relieved. Because now you'll think everything is just going to go back to normal. Like you'll forget about her and you'll be normal. But when you're 13, you'll realise you're in love with the girl. And the girl is your best friend. And you think that's terrible. And it is terrible. I won't go into details because it'll only scare you. I wish I could change what's going to happen, but I can't. She'll abuse you and use you and hurt you. And you'll stick with her for far too long and let her break your heart far too many times. And you won't think that you deserve better because you're just so glad that she didn't abandon you when you told her. Eventually, you're going to break the spell that she has over you and your life is going to become so much better once she's gone. Trust me. Your first love takes you up to when you're 19. Yeah, 19. I know, mate, it's a fucking Greek tragedy. 6 years of your life and you are going to find her almost impossible to forget. To be honest, you still think about her when you're 22. But it's scary though, once she's gone, because now you don't know who else you could like. It's been one girl for so long that now you won't know what to do with yourself. I mean, do you like feminine girls? Do you like masculine girls? Do you like girls who are somewhere in between? Who do you like? I'll give you a few hints to speed up the process. You like girls who are feminine. You like girls with dark hair, but you don't really mind about their eyes. You like girls who are shorter than you. You like girls who are confident. Well, you like girls who are dominant. You like girls who are forward with you about their wants and desires. You like girls who are independent because you like to feel chosen and not needed. You like girls who will have important conversations with you face to face and not over a phone. Oddly enough, most of the girls you'll end up liking will have tattoos and piercings, and a lot of them will smoke. Some of them are bitchy, and most of them aren't all that nice to you. Side note to current me, you really, really need to work on your type. But what you should be getting from all this, though, is that you like girls. Yeah, I said it quite a lot of times in that last little paragraph there. I figured if I said it enough times, you might start to internalize it and process it and like really come to terms with it, that you like girls. Emma, girls, you like girls. You have a brief thing with a girl at a drama festival when you're 19. It was the last day, the last workshop. You walk in and sit down. To your left is your best mate, Harmony. And to your right is, oh my God, she is so pretty. The workshop starts. You are going to try your hardest to concentrate. Half hour in, you're told to get into pairs. Harmony is already with someone else. Cool. The pretty girl's looking at you. She's turning to you and she says, do you want to go together? And then you turn to her and you look at her and you say, nothing. You are far too nervous for that, so you just nod. And then you go together. It doesn't work out though, because it's long distance. And because it turns out she was seeing a boy the entire time and she picks him over you, but that's beside the point. You don't see her again after that, but she seems happy. And you're happy for her. And you still think about her when you're 22. Oh my God, and then when you're 20, you are going to catch feelings for completely the wrong person. And all your friends are going to tell you to stay the fuck away from that one, Emma, what the fuck? But she's lovely and intelligent and absolutely beautiful, so how could you not fall for her? With her, you're going to start realising that you're asexual, but that is a whole other trilogy book series with a film franchise counterpart, where the last book is split into an epic yet highly unnecessary two-parter because the studio values financial profits over quality content in itself. You break your own heart for that one. And you still think about her when you're 22. Oh, if you're wondering about your first kiss with a girl, by the way, it happens when you're 14, but it's not great. You don't count it much these days, and for the most part, you don't really like telling people. The kiss, if you can even call it that, because in reality, your lips barely touched each other before she shrank back, shouting, "That was disgusting!" Neither of you had wanted it to happen. It was someone's 15th birthday and everyone was drunk and it was a game of spin the bottle, and no one would take no for an answer when you tell them that you don't want to. I'm sorry it happens that way. When you're 21, you're going to have your first girlfriend and you think that's wonderful. And it is wonderful. You meet her on an early November night in 2018. You weren't even meant to go out that night. You were meant to go home to talk to your housemate about some serious adult stuff. But you got caught up in the drunken frivolity of it all and you end up staying out till 6 a.m. It was your first time ever in a gay club. And despite all the blaring music and flashing lights, the drag queens and their games and all the other gays staggering into you, you can't help but notice that girl looking at you. And you also can't help but notice that you're looking too. I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston comes on and you think that you want to dance with her. So you do. 7 months later, she breaks up with you suddenly in a text at midnight, and she abandons you, and you don't really understand why, which sucks, and it hurts, and you feel like your whole body is being torn apart, and you can't breathe, and you can't sleep, and you can't eat, and you cry so much that your eyes puff up, and then it hurts to blink, and you realise that this is what true, utter heartbreak feels like. But you'll be fine. You'll move on and you'll start pursuing other people in a few months. And now you're actually really happy that it turned out the way it did. Because you and her just weren't right for each other. And the thing is, Emma, that's okay. But you still think about her when you're 22. And now you're here, your 20s. Woo! It's not been the easiest of rides. The asexuality thing's been a bit of a nightmare, I'm not gonna lie. Sexual people are weird and hard to read, and sometimes it feels like you're trying to explain yourself to a brick wall rather than an actual human person, but we're getting there, slowly. It's this thing that you don't know about yet called sexual attraction. So looking at someone and wanting to engage in sexual activity with them. I know. You don't have that. But you do have romantic attraction, and you can definitely tell when a girl is pretty. You're not that into kissing or more than kissing, but kissing can be nice sometimes. And I'm not quite sure about the more yet. But you do like to laugh and chat deep into the early hours and find out exactly what makes that girl her. Not that any of this is going to mean anything to you because you still think you fancy your boyfriend. You don't fully accept you're gay till you're 19. You come out for the first time when you're 15 to your best mate, and turns out she is too. Yeah, you know Lauren? Yeah, massive lesbian. Big shock for you because your gaydar was shit back then. You tell your parents when you're 20 at a Lady Gaga concert of all places. You just shout it in their face over the screams of thousands of fans. You're so dramatic. I feel like if you could see what you look like now, you'd be in awe. You ask mum if you can shop in the boys section when you're 14, and that changes everything. You almost only wear men's clothes now. At 16, you get braces that sort out the rabbit teeth. And at 20, you develop cheekbones that could cut a bitch. And at some point, you're going to stop thinking you're ugly because you're not. It's hard to know how to end this, really, because it's like trying to finish a book that's missing the last few chapters. Because I don't know who they're going to be. Are you married? I know she wants us to be, but I'm not so convinced. Do you have cats? No, I'll definitely have cats. They'll definitely have cats. You're going to have cats. We're definitely going to have cats. And what about kids? I hope so. I mean, we've never been so sure about the that, but I hope so. And what about gender? Because that's something we are both avoiding. And do you still have the your, like, do you still have, like, do you ever get them, like, like medically, do you get tops, like, because she hates them. She cries to herself in the shower because she can't stand to look at them. They remind her that her body is changing in a way that she can't understand. She can't understand why her chest doesn't look like the other boys anymore. If she starts wearing baggy tops because that way no one's gonna be able to see them. And she still wears them now. You're not always gonna feel so helpless about them. I mean, I've accepted them as part of my body, even though I don't feel like they necessarily fit with me. So do we? And do we ever work out how we feel about sex? Because she's repulsed by it, but then again, she is 11, so I feel like that is a universal experience. And I have no idea. I've never known how to feel about it. I don't know whether I want to or whether I don't want to, or and where are we going to go from here? Probably downstairs to make a cup of tea and eat some biscuits. I fucking love biscuits. Thank you. That was When You're 22.